What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Film Addiction, the best addiction there is to have. Today we are going to be doing a list of our top 25 movies from 1970s. This is a challenge from Tim Talks Talkies. Great challenge, awesome stuff. I'll have his link down below to go watch his video. You can do your list below mine or on the comments, or you can go to his channel and watch his video, and he'll have all the directions of how to put in your list. You can either do 15 or 25, whichever one you want to do. So I went with 25. 1970s is a great year for movies. I did not have or had seen a lot of these movies, and some I had not seen in a long time. So I had to revisit a bunch of them. There's some that I did not get around to watching. So whether that's for the first time or revisiting, so they may or may not have made the list depending on how much I remember them. So this is my list. These are not the top 25 best movies of the year, top 25 best movies of the 70s. These are my top 25 favorite movies from the 70s. So get upset, don't get upset. Let's have fun with it. And without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. So I'm going to go from 25 to 1. Starting in at number 25 is one of my favorite Disney cartoon movies. I had to have one in here. I grew up with this one, and that is the Aristocats. Everybody wants to be a cat, of course. We have cats. I love cats to an extent. But great movie if you've never seen this. Great songs. Just the animation, everything in this movie is great. If you've never seen the Aristocats, I highly recommend it. Next up, this movie, which you probably just saw in that little pile right there. This movie was the first time watch for me. It's highly recommended a lot in the community, and I finally got around to watching it. And this actor is now one of my favorite actors because of some of the movies that I watched recently for this challenge. And that is Serpico with Al Pacino. This was a great movie. I don't know if I liked it as much as a lot of people, but Al Pacino made this movie, just his character, the way he acts, the way he dresses, everything, and the story's great. So that comes in at number 24, and that is 1973. I forgot to put my little paper down here. That was 1973. These are all in the 70s. I double checked. Coming in at number 23 is also another first time watch, is Mean Streets. Also another movie that got talked about a lot in the community recently, especially since this release and the second site release, I believe. So this was the first time watch for me. I really love this movie because of Robert De Niro. I just like the way he acted in this movie. It was a completely different character from what I've seen a lot of his movies in, a lot of his characters in movies. But I thought this was great. Just all around awesome movie. So that's number 23, 1973. So coming in at number 22 is none other than Hills Have Eyes. 1977, great movie. Wes Craven, just awesome. If you've never seen this, I'd highly recommend it. It's probably not for everybody, but this is a great addition as well on Arrow Video. So if you're gonna grab a copy, grab this copy, because it's a great movie and you should check it out. The remakes are pretty good too. All right, so coming in at number 21 is a movie that I think that I've seen, but I actually grew up with the sequel. So this was kind of a nice little rewatch, possibly, but a new movie. And that is Every Which Way But Loose. I think the sequel is called Every Which Way You Can. I grew up on that one, but this is awesome with him and Clyde, right? That's the monkey's name. But yeah, this movie's awesome. I love the way Clint Eastwood acts in this movie. It's just, he's serious, but he's comedic, and it's just a lot different from his other characters, in my opinion. And I thought this was a great movie, and I'm definitely going to be upgrading this and getting the sequel as well. So Every Which Way But Loose. All right, coming in at number 20. So I did something stupid a long time ago, and when we lived at our old place, and I kind of ran out of room for movies. So I took a bunch of my movies out of their cases and threw them away and put them in books. I know, a rule not to do. Learn from me. Don't ever do that, because I can't put them in the system knowing if I have it or not. But for some reason, I have yet to upgrade this. I don't know why. But that is Grease from 1978. If you've never seen Grease, there's nothing else to say about it. You just need to watch it. It's a great movie. One of the few musicals that I like. I'm not a big musical kind of person with singing and stuff, but Grease is up there. John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, 1978. Great movie. Definitely check it out. And yes, I have no case. Bothers the crap out of me. There's one more movie in here as well. All right, so coming in at number 19. This was a first time watch, and this movie kind of blew me away. This is a fantastic movie. Paul Newman and Robert Redford just played well off each other. And I've had this movie in my collection for a long time. And that is The Sting. This is the Digibook version. This movie is great. If you've never seen this, which I hadn't, I highly, highly recommend this movie. Just fantastic. I loved every minute of it. Definitely check this one out. The Sting. All right, coming in at number 18. Another great thing about this challenge was I got to watch some movies that were in my collection that I have never seen before that I should have. And shockingly enough, I had never seen this one, but I watched it and I fell in love with it. It's a great movie. And that is Jack Nicholson's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Love Jack Nicholson in this movie. I thought this story was great. He's hilarious in this movie. The movie kind of pulls at your heartstrings at times. And just his character was phenomenal in this movie. His acting was just spectacular. And I'm glad I finally watched this movie. Thanks to this challenge, I finally watched it. Loved it. I did put it at number 18 from 1975. Great movie. If you've never seen this, watch it. It's great. All right, so coming in at number 17. Hopefully I'm not messing up these numbers. Might get some slack for this one being so low on the chart here, but I'm realizing as I'm getting older, I'm not liking the series as much as I used to. My nerdness for this series is kind of going away. It's still great, and it's also because this is the first one and it's not as good as the sequel. So we're gonna go with Star Wars at number 17. 1977. It's a great movie. That's why it's on the list. It did a lot of stuff for the movie history. Obviously, we would not have a lot of movies that we have nowadays if it was not for this, but it's not as good as the sequel. So that's why it's at number 17, Star Wars. Next up, I did re-buy this and upgrade it for this, but I didn't get around to watching it, but I know I didn't need to, because this movie is fantastic. And coming in at number 16 from 1974 is Young Frankenstein. This movie is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, Mel Brooks, you gotta watch this. Young Frankenstein is hilarious. It's great. I'll laugh every time I watch this movie. I have not seen it in quite a bit, but I just remember it being so damn good. And honestly, if I rewatched it, it might even be higher up on the list. Right now, it sits at number 16, Young Frankenstein. So coming in at number 15 is an all-time classic. Everyone's seen it. If you've never seen it, you need to watch it. But it had to be at 15 so that it makes the list for the 15, because only 15 of these movies count. And that is coming in at 1977, Smokey and the Bandit. Just the best one out of the series. The sequels are great too, but it does not beat the first one with Burt Reynolds. You can't beat Smokey and the Bandit. All-time classic. Love this movie. If you've never seen Smokey and the Bandit, check it out. All right, coming in at number 14 is the first time watch for me as well. I actually did not own this. I had to order it to watch it for this challenge. But another one of my favorite actors that's growing into my list as one of my favorite actors, along with Al Pacino, is Robert De Niro. And this is The Deer Hunter, 1978. I love this movie. I cannot believe I've never seen this movie before. It is slow at the beginning. But once you take, because it's kind of cut into 3 parts, and once you take the whole movie, you understand why it's slow. It's building up the characters, and stuff like that. But love this movie. Thought that Robert De Niro was fantastic, along with Christopher Walken, and Meryl Streep is absolutely beautiful in this movie. Definitely want to watch some older movies with Meryl Streep in it. But The Dinner Hunter, fantastic movie. Love this. Almost a perfect movie, really. But it come in at number 14. So coming in at number 13 is another movie that I revisited, and I'm glad I did. It's always been one of my favorites, though. And that is Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. And that's 1978. Hilarious movie. This is like the Godfather of dope movies, weed movies, whatever you want to say. Just hilarious. Every minute of this movie from beginning to end is fantastic. Sequel's great too. I need to get the sequel. But yeah, number 13, Up in Smoke. So coming in at number 12 is a movie. I was just going to hold this up, but I'm not going to. I'll just put up a little picture. It is The Exorcist. I thought that I upgraded this to 4K. But I guess because of the slipcover deal and all that crap, I never upgraded it. And I never found the Steelbook. So it's probably in one of my books, like I said before. But The Exorcist at number 12, 1973. We would not have some of the horror movies that we have nowadays if it was not for that movie. The girl did some crazy, questionable things in that movie, and the acting is fantastic. And it's not a movie that you can watch over and over, at least not me. So that's why it falls at number 12, but The Exorcist. So coming in at number 11, which I might get some crap for this being at 11 and not in the top 10, but I do love this movie. I just feel like number 11 is a good spot for it. And Superman, the movie. Christopher Reeves as Superman, the best Superman. Although the new guy's great. Superman the movie, fantastic. One of the best superhero movies that we have. Superman, what else is there to say? If you've never seen this, watch it. Watch it on 4K. I'm not like real pushy on 4K, but get that on 4K. So coming in at number 10, 1978, is one of my all-time favorite movies. All-time favorite movies. Absolutely hilarious. John Belushi. Animal House. Toga! Watch it. If you have not seen it, everybody loves this movie. It's one movie I will not understand if you don't love this movie. But The Animal House, watch it. It's hilarious. One of the best comedies ever, in my opinion. Number 10, Animal House. Great spot for it. Number 9, right? Yes, number 9. Like I said, took out some movies, put them in my book. You've heard the story already. And I have yet to pick this up because I've been holding out for a great addition, and that is Carrie. I do plan on upgrading this as soon as possible, but I did just revisit this because it's been a long time since I've seen this. Fantastic movie. Carrie. Yes, it's no case. I know it bothers the crap out of me, but Carrie, fantastic movie, great horror movie. There's nothing else to say. I know I'm not going in a whole lot of detail because there's really nothing to say. If you've never seen these, you need to watch them. Another one that I revisited because of a particular person in this community. And I'm glad I did because I liked it a lot more this time around. It had probably been 10, 15 years since I've seen this movie. And coming in at number, what are we at? Number 8, 1979, The Warriors. Fantastic movie. It's at 9 or 8. Yeah, 8. Because I do want more. Like, I wish there was a little bit more backstory and character development. But besides that, I love this movie. It's great. And now that I've rewatched this, I will eventually be picking up the Arrow video copy of this movie. So, The Warriors. I highly recommend watching that if you haven't seen it. So coming in at number 7, 1979, a movie that I had a conversation with some friends. I think it's better than the first. And you'll see that because the first is not on my list. Spoiler. Rocky 2. Watched them kind of back to back. Rocky 2, in my opinion, is way better than the first. Put the hate comments down below. I love Rocky 2. I think it's a great story. The fight at the end was a lot longer and better than the first fight in the first movie. And this one kind of brought a little tear to my eye at the end. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why. But Rocky 2, fantastic movie. And that is number 7. So coming in at number 6, is The Godfather. Had to get this on Blu-ray to rewatch this because I had the old DVDs and I wanted to watch it on Blu-ray. I did not upgrade to 4K. I will be eventually, but The Godfather is pretty much the definition of a perfect movie, in my opinion. The sequel was good, but not as good as the first. So The Godfather is, like I say, it's a perfect movie in my opinion. But it's not a movie that I could sit down and rewatch. So that's why it's at number 6, 1972, The Godfather. All right, so my top 5. And some of these might be questionable, and some of these are not even on some people's list, and yada, 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 but they're my top 5 from the 1970s. So coming in at number 5, and these top 5, honestly, you could rotate them at any time, from being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just kind of what I wrote down, and I was like, all right, I'm going to just go with this. So coming in at number 5, Robert De Niro's Taxi Driver. Love this movie. Every time I watch this, I appreciate it more and more every time. Robert De Niro's character in this movie, you talking to me? Just fantastic. I love this movie, and this is a great addition. A buddy of mine a long time ago sent me this, and I really need to upgrade it, but I just love this edition. Taxi Driver, number 5. That was 1976, if I didn't say it. So coming in at number 4, a movie that I have not seen on a whole lot of people's list, but this is one of my all-time favorite series. I actually do like the sequel more than this one, but the sequel was made in the 80s. So I had to put it on the list either way. Mad Max, 1979. Mel Gibson. Love this movie. Like I said, I do like the sequel a little bit more just because I grew up on it more. But it was made in the 80s. So, Mad Max, number 4. If you've never seen this, watch it. I love every single one of these, and I cannot wait till the new one. So, Mad Max. Coming in at number 3, this should be in everyone's top 5 movies, is Alien. Didn't have to revisit to know. Alien is just one of the best movies of all time, one of the best horrors of all time. Some people argue whether or not first or second is better. First is just a little bit more creepy to me. Second one's a little more action, with a little more comedy. First one's just, there's certain scenes that you know that are from the first, and so that's why Alien is number 3 on the list. So number 2. So 2 and 1, you could switch at any time. And I actually put 2 in spot of 2 so that number 1 would get a little bit more points because I haven't seen it as number 1 like I have seen this movie. So we're going to go with Jaws. One of the best movies ever made. Questionably one of my favorite movies of all time, but maybe not. It's definitely like in the top 5 of all time for me, of course. But everyone's putting this at number 1, so I had to put the first one in its spot so we get some more points in Tim's list. But Jaws, what else to say? It's the best shark movie of all time. Nothing else compares to it. Jaws with an L. All right, last but not least, if you know me, you should know that this is number 1. Since it has not been showed since, and I watch this movie every year on Halloween, and that is Halloween. Fantastic movie. I believe that 1 and 2 are equally as good because it's really just one long movie. A lot of people would disagree, but Halloween, fantastic movie. Jamie Lee Curtis, Mike Myers. What else did I say? So that's my top 25 movies of the 70s. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I would love, honestly, to hear your opinion on my choices. And like I said, there were some movies that I didn't get around to watching, so that's why they're not on the list. So yeah, that's my top 25. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Comment down below, put yours in there. Go visit Tim Talk Talkies and put your list in. You still have a few days left. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye.